2026 has started for every single day.
Do 1 minute every hour is all I need. Hee hee.
You are watching the
Per hour
vlogs. Good morning and welcome back to the Per Hour Vlogs. I'm Alex Love, and in this video I will be breaking down the process in where I come up with titles. Why? Because I received this particular comment from one of my videos, pretty much letting me know that, hey, you need to work on your titles and you need to work on your thumbnails. In this particular video, I'm only going to be addressing the title process that I'm going to be figuring out. I have not touched this subject before, and this is in this on the progress of this channel. This was the next thing I was going to address, but a comment actually beat me to it. But regardless, I'm going to do that in this video, so follow along. Also, throughout the day and everything I got to do in the span of 12 hours. So, see you. The first thing to consider about doing a title is, do I start before I even record or start the day, knowing the topic or the title that I want to give this video? Or do I record and let the day form the title? And then at the end of the day, when I sit down and I have all the information, I can come up with a title that encompasses the whole day that I had, right? One is going with the mindset of making the day about that. The other one is finding what the day will be about and seeing in between the pauses and in between the words and seeing the overall theme at the end. Which one's best? I don't know. I'm still testing, so I'm gonna see. I've had more time chewing over the idea, and to be honest, the answer is not that simple. Because on one hand, you have the advantage of knowing what the topic is going to be, so then you approach the day. Kind of like this video. I know that I want to talk about the title formation or building titles for the video, right? And if I already have the idea and the topic, then I can have the whole day to actually work on the actual title, right? On the other hand, it's kind of let's see what the day brings. Let's see how it develops. And then at the end of the day, pick up all the info, analyze it, and then come up with the title. And so far, I think I like one better than the other one, simply because it simplifies my job and simplifies my work. And that's what it's all about. Simplification. I'm gonna get some advice from a professional YouTube watcher on how to create titles, specifically catchy titles that I can use on my videos. So without further ado, me wife.
Hello. So the best thing I can say is you should focus on having people be curious about your title. So it's kind of like give a little bit but not give too much. So in a way, kind of exaggerate a little bit, make it a little more emotional. Like if you're like, wow, I can't believe she did this for me, and all I did was like make cookies or something.
Okay.
Be like, wow, like my wife really did that, or I don't know.
But do you feel like that works with my style of blogging?
Make it work.
I'll make it work. What about the idea of like starting with the title in mind already, so I can work it out the entire day with that theme? Or the approach of, at the end, gather all the information and title it based on what happened? Which one do you prefer?
No sé.
Oh, okay. Those were wise advices from a professional YouTube watcher. Creating good titles for my videos was something I knew I was gonna have to face sooner or later. when I started my channel, I just wanted to get the ball rolling because the advice was just get started. You learn as you go. So when I saw that comment, I knew my videos have gotten enough attention that people were curious enough to click, even though if it was confusing or they didn't know what they were clicking on. Other than the comment, the person said, I saw that it had 0 views, so I was curious why, and at least give you a view. When I saw it, I saw that what you showed in the thumbnail and your title were very confusing. They didn't give any context. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna take that and I knew I had to face this sooner or later. So now I am proactively working and researching how to create good titles for my videos. Emphasizing, need to find words that impact, that create curiosity, and that leave people wanting to know more. And we're going to try it on this video. Real quick, let us mark in that we did our exercise. We're locked in. The workout that we did today was a combination of 4 movements, which was incline bench right here, then followed by tricep extensions right here, then followed by dumbbell shoulder presses, then this pec movement machine that hits right here real good. Now, to move on with the words that will create curiosity, right? You want to entice the people with saying, this is how to lose. You're running out of time. Click here now to learn blah, 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 right? Words of, I broke my blah, blah, blah. Words that create like authority, like as a content creator, as a millionaire, and then people are gonna want to click that stuff. Those are a little bit of what I've been able to research, but I have to make it work for my videos. As someone who is doing blogs every hour for 12 hours, something like that. Let's try it. As an ex-Chipotle worker, I can tell you that that's a great title. That's a great way to start a video because it uses the expert part. As an ex-Chipotle worker, that means I know what I'm talking about. I can tell you that this is the proper way to do a burrito. Let's put some black beans. Let's see some of these, some beets. There is one crucial thing that every Chipotle, ex-Chipotle employee must be able to do. Let's roll it, okay? This might have been a lot, okay? What did I get myself into? Can we roll this burrito? Of course, because I used to be an ex-Chipotle worker. And then we would just go, boom, right there, pa! Because you're gonna eat this. What do y'all think? I'm gonna see if it passes the final test. So I have a question. What happens when you are doing the same thing over and over? Simply because the schedule just gives it like that, right? So then how do you find a title that best suits doing something over and over again? Like having a schedule, having a routine. And so how do you differentiate one from the other? I think that's gonna be the hardest thing to do, because the thing is, like, I have and been working with the same schedule ever since the baby was born. Correction, it's shifted, because I used to not be kicked in the face before, but now I do. I do it every time at 2 when my wife is working out. So the question would be finalized to, how do you create a title that's different every time? I guess it's on the theme that you choose to talk about. Ow! Right? I wanted to give you something concrete, something that is in the internet and that you can look up yourself, but in the meantime I can give you something. So here on Google, there's like this Google Help support thing, and it tells you how to write titles. Right here. How to write titles. Be accurate. Make sure your titles accurately represent the video. If not, viewers may stop watching, which can impact your discoverability. Be succinct. Succinct. What are these words? They're too hard. Viewers may only see part of your title, so aim to keep it short and put the most important words near the beginning. I didn't know that, but that's good. Limit all caps and emojis. Use them carefully to emphasize emotions, especially elements in the video. For example, our kids build a robot, put a robot emoji. Pretty simple. Well, there you go. Those already are really good tips, so I'm gonna keep it at that. Here's another thing that was not available until recently, right? I am doing my YouTube channel right now, so then there is this tool available, and I just found out about it, but I didn't know to what degree it could work at. But so there is this app called Captions. I've been generating the transcripts, and then it also gives me like a little title for the 1 minute section, right? Because it won't do the full transcript of the video, right? But what I was able to do is, like, since I have the full transcript from each video, from each 1 minute video, I put those together and I can put it in like Gemini from Google, and then ask it to, hey, create a title for this. And then not only that, but like later, like it will generate the title, and then it'll say, hey, do you want me to do SEO for you as well? That is crazy. I was like, okay, yeah, do it. Much simpler times. I was able to create a sample for the embroidery that's gonna go onto the beanie. And so with this sample, I'm able to place it, and I'm able to send the customer a mock-up or some. I send this letting them know, like, hey, this is what it's going to look like. Now I did notice it looks small, right? It's a small little frame, and so I thought to like check up with him. I said like, hey, so I created this little mock-up where I said, this is what it looks like on person, this one, right? And it's 4.5 inches. And then I have a version that is, I did another one, which all this is ratio to the size, and it's 6 inches. So this is what it looks like. Giving him the option which one he wants, right? I don't want to print something that like maybe he's like, oh man, I want it bigger. But no, but definitely I want to do that confirmation where they're like, you know what? This is what I want. And he chose, luckily, this one. I don't have to do any extra work, because if not, I needed to send this to my digitizer, and then they'll make it bigger. But that's all for this. Later. And with that, we come to an end. This episode was mainly geared to figuring out the best way to start titling my YouTube videos. Given all the tools that are out there, I'm most likely going to use a combination of all of them, but they don't work just by themselves, right? I have to creatively input, put the energy, put in the work, in fact, because it's not going to do it for free. It's going to free up a lot of time, but it doesn't mean it's being done by itself. If I do end up using AI to help me write, which that's beautiful for me because I suck at it. I don't do good with copy. It's such a help. Also, I want to say that for the next episode, most likely I'm gonna have a nice little present, because also during this session I was working on something special. I may release it for this one, but if not, then it's on the next one. I'm Alex Love, and you've been watching the Per Hour Blogs. Bye.